Oh my God.
All right, so welcome to the House of I podcast. Today we have Proud Miranda. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
What's up?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Jinx, man.
No, thank you guys so much for having us. This is really cool.
Yeah.
Very excited.
No, I mean, obviously, like, we appreciate the fact that you guys take the time to come drive to our place and come to sit down, so thanks. Yeah, I wanted to do this before the show because I felt like that'd be a cool way to, like, introduce you guys to maybe, like, some people that would listen to it and come out, like, some of our fans or whatever.
Yeah, that just felt so perfect to have it before our show. It's, like, a great time. It's also, like, a good icebreaker to get to, like, meet and hang out before we play the show together. Just better, like, show mojo, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then it's a totally awesome opportunity to get to be introduced to some people we don't know.
Yeah, like, this is something that I had never really done before, talking to bands like this, and I feel like once I don't know, I feel like I can get more into, like, their music when I get to know them as well. Does that make any sense?
100%.
I mean, that makes sense.
Totally,
yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And you guys, I think I've seen you guys at shows, so, like, I think I specifically remember seeing you guys at the Benz.
Yeah.
For Viewers Like You.
Viewers Like You, Phantom Funk, and Longfinger.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah, that was a rad
There's
show.
like a mosh pit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, I know them, but I didn't want to, like, I don't know. I just didn't want to fucking be weird or something like that. I don't know.
I had the same exact experience. I don't know if you noticed them, but, like, I had that same experience of, like, is this creepy to be like, I recognize you?
Yeah.
So I just, like, hung back.
Well, now we know.
Now we know.
Now we know.
Never again.
That makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not going to lie, because I was like, man, I feel like I probably should have just said hi, you know, like.
Yeah, but it's just so weird. It's like, how do you, like, appropriately say that? Like, sorry to bother you.
Just, I guess.
right?
Well,
I love your music.
well,
Recognize you from Instagram. Creep, get away from me.
well, that's true too, because there are some people that, like, I know from Instagram and I've never met them in person, and I definitely, I guess this is my worry, is, like, I don't want anyone to think that I am approaching them because I want something from them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's different if I'm, like, asking you to come talk, you know what I'm saying? Because then I'm like, okay, that can be my kind of, like, leeway into, like, getting, like, to meeting you guys.
Yeah, it's a good playing field.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm
Less
glad you feel
creepy.
that way. And
Totally less creepy.
I've had this experience recently, actually, where I'm not gonna name who it was, but it was a certain bass player that is, I think he's pretty well known, or she, or they.
You gave that away.
And I was just trying to like be friendly, and I just felt like it wasn't happening.
Wow, that's super not nice.
Not that they were an asshole. I just felt like they were probably like, why is this person talking to me right now? Like, I don't know them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I hate that feeling.
Yeah. So I was kind of like, fuck. But that's only happened once. Usually people are pretty fucking nice. So
Were they, like, famous or, like, known here?
here. Yeah.
Okay, got it. I didn't know if it was, like...
Then they should not be too cool for school like that.
Well, I don't.
That's true.
But that's what I don't know if it was that. I think he might be just awkward. Maybe like that. That's the because I feel like I was reading it like he just didn't, like, he was like, why are you fucking talking to me? But honestly, for all I know, he's just an awkward fucking person.
That's
you know
so
what I'm saying?
true.
That's
Yeah.
super me. I'm always like, oh my God, that person's going to think that I'm, like, such a snob or something, but I'm just so shy today.
Yeah. No, and that night, like, going back to the Benz, like, I was fucking on another level on some substances.
Ooh.
So, like, that made me even more, wary of, like,
He was
approaching
asking
people.
me the funniest question.
Oh my God, like what? What?
Like, he was just like, hey, am I acting weird?
Yep.
Am I acting weird? I'm like, no, what? Why? No, it's just like, it's just, really rocking right now. So I'm just like, I don't know. Do I sound weird? Is my voice weird?
I was, and I was fine. Like, I wasn't freaking out, but I was just, I remember I was asking, like, Vince, I was like, hey, man, did you ask me a question, like, a really long time ago? Because I feel like I've been waiting to answer you for a long time. And he's like, nah, man, I just asked you that. I was like, okay.
Yes.
like-
Oh my God.
I was like, all right, cool. man."
Luckily, Vince is the nicest guy and wouldn't
Yeah.
make you feel weird about it.
Yeah, no,
Well, and he gets it too.
Yeah.
He's experienced.
He's
so.
on that level.
Yeah, exactly. So he totally understands that. But okay, so
that was so funny. Yeah.
I'm happy that it was mutual awkwardness though, because I was like, oh my God, they're going to think I'm so weird that I know they are.
No, it's
so funny.
It makes sense though. It honestly does because, it's like, am I stalking you? I'm not stalking you. I swear to God, I'm not stalking you. I just.
You know what though? I think so. So there should be. You shouldn't feel like that way though, right? Because I feel that. Like who would you want to be friends with a person that would react weirdly to you approaching them?
Whoa.
Because I definitely wouldn't have, right?
Right?
Like if you would have came up to me, and I'm sure if I would have came up to you as well, it would have been like a mutual like, oh hey, yeah, what's up? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like, would you want to know that person?
But in the moment, I go right back to middle school, and they're like the popular kid, and I like forget that in adult life we're all kind generally and like want to know each other.
Yeah,
especially
definitely.
if we already have a shared interest. It's like a natural. But yeah, I don't know.
Especially like music.
Music is like brings people together.
Yeah, exactly. Like it should be easy to be like, you played a band, I played a band. Hi, what's up?
Let's talk about it.
So
I've seen your name around.
It's on the internet.
Sticker in a bathroom stall.
That sounded like a lyric.
So I have a bunch of questions for you guys here.
Awesome.
So I saw. So this is a little stalkerish,
Yes.
but I saw on your
It is.
Facebooks that you guys aren't from Florida.
Right.
Right. So I forget you're from Pennsylvania, right?
Wrongo.
Oh, Pennsylvania and
From
Tennessee.
Pennsylvania.
Okay. So I would like to hear both your perspectives on growing up there. If you did, I don't know when you guys moved over here, but
Okay.
You go first.
Me first. I moved to Florida when I was 10, so my memories of Tennessee are not super there.
yeah.
I lived closer to Nashville, so it was like definitely like city life. Whereas I came to Florida and I moved to a really rural area, and my first moment entering my mom's boyfriend's house where we were living, his little sister like brings this chicken. I'm like, what the fuck is that? What is this thing? Like, we're supposed to be in Florida and this is like vacation and Disneyland and Nickelodeon, and why are you handing me a chicken? So I was really like kind of shell shocked, like being used to living near the city and then being in the country that was that area of Florida.
Yeah.
where was
That's a
that
lot.
exactly?
Like Shady Hills.
Okay.
Wait, where's
Yeah.
Shady Hills?
It's like Pasco County, right on the Hernando line.
Okay.
Yeah, redneckville, man.
That's where I work. I don't work there, but I work in Apollo Beach, and it's Redneckville.
Oh, what do you do?
I'm not gonna say the name of the company.
Oh, right.
But
don't do
I
that.
work for basically a lake management company.
Okay.
So we treat retention ponds. Basically.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a really weird job.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. So what about you?
Pennsylvania, or where do I work?
No,
Nobody cares where I work.
both.
So yeah, I moved to Florida when I was 14. So it was like right at the start of high school. And where I lived in Pennsylvania was outside of Philly in the like area called Bucks County. And my dad and his side of the family still live up there with my sister. So I still go up there yearly. Used to go up a lot more, but like with work and everything, not a lot of time. So I feel very connected to like always have a reason to go back. So it's still like as fresh in my memory. But I don't know, Florida's just like, it's just a lot easier to do things. You can do things anytime. Like you're so close to Tampa, so close to St. Pete. Because we moved both to the same town. We just didn't meet for another like 15 years.
Yeah, we both lived and went to high school in Newport Richie. Like,
Oh wow, really?
like I went to
Yeah.
River Ridge and she went to Mitchell, and those schools are like the closest two schools can be together.
Yeah.
Just never met. Yeah.
do
When
you
did
guys feel Floridian?
Yeah.
Super Floridian.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just went to Nashville last month, and or the month before, and I just don't connect to Tennessee at all. Like, East Nashville was super, super cool, but yeah, I'm just such a beach girl. I'm like,
Yeah.
can't with the cold weather.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we're from Miami, and moving up here was definitely a difference. You know, like it's not. I wouldn't say it's as different as like moving from maybe Pennsylvania or Tennessee.
Right.
But yeah, it is weird. And honestly, like it's funny to hear that perspective that you guys both enjoy Florida more. I would imagine.
100%. Yeah.
Where we left off was basically we were talking about how you guys are beach girls.
Yes.
And
Well, me, not her so much. She hates the beach.
I like Florida. You hate the beach too?
I hate it. I hate
Okay.
stores.
Do you like it at night when you're wearing normal clothes?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
With sneakers?
Yes.
Totally great.
Yes.
The
No
best
shoes
time.
at night.
I mean, I could take off my shoes too. I do not like sand.
I don't like sand. I don't like sandals. I don't like.
Things with sand in that. I don't like glass.
Do you like sandwiches? What's happening?
Hate sandwiches. Weirdly, I love witches, but
That's good.
That's fucking great.
No, that's so funny. I don't enjoy the beach.
that makes
He
me feel
loves
good.
The beach.
You love the beach.
I love the beach.
You love
too.
the beach.
I love being in the water. Yeah, I used to scuba dive. Now I'm not going to do that anymore, but
Why not?
I have some sinus issues.
You had
It's
like
just
a
not-
bad experience. Your
Yeah.
like head blew up.
Really?
I just had a sinus squeeze. I came up too quick and
Oh
kind of had a
shit!
little incident.
Damn. But
Oh, wow.
obviously you're okay. I know.
I'm okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of. I'm not gonna lie. So I went to the University of Tampa for marine biology, and I love the ocean. I love everything about it. I'm deathly afraid of scuba diving.
Yeah, it is scary. Like I had fun going to about 30 feet, but anything beyond that just kind of wasn't worth it. And if the water wasn't crystal clear, it wasn't worth it. Like pretty much only the Keys are the really best place to dive in Florida, nowhere else. So.
Yeah. Well, it's like being in space with monsters.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
and
Exactly.
there's so many sharks I always have seen on every dive in the Keys, but
Why are we
just-
like exploring space when we should be exploring the ocean? We don't know anything about the ocean.
It's a good question. It's a good question.
I agree with
God.
you.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh,
I
here
totally
we- oh,
agree.
no.
here we go.
You got his science.
Now
You
an
got
environmental
his
podcast. No,
I
no.
figured let's ask a
Save the
biologist.
No, this is great. That's a great question because you're actually right, but there are like did you see the new what was it Planet Earth?
Our planet.
Our Planet. Have you seen that? So there's like I think I follow a couple like science pages that like I think there's like usually around like monthly there will be like a new discovery from like a deep dive. Yeah, so they're doing it, but I don't think there's as much investment as there is in space, for example.
Right.
So in that sense, you're right, and I agree with you actually because I think I don't know what the percentage is now, but I think it's only like 3% of the ocean has been discovered.
It
And
probably has gone
something-
up a little bit.
Right.
3% is still ridiculous.
Still very
when-
small, but yeah, that is just so interesting. I mean, I know there's value in space exploration too, but I just feel like it's like in our Earth, we should know about everything.
We should
Yeah.
know about our
Yeah.
Earth. Yeah, I think people are like, so when we wreck this place, where are we going?
Ah.
Like, you know what I mean?
and also from a
True.
protection standpoint as well,
In case we get attacked by aliens.
in case we get attacked by aliens.
or an
Then
asteroid.
you should go underwater, but you don't know anything about it.
we could be literally
do
just
Atlantis.
yeah, we could, but we
Oh, Atlantis, yeah.
Yeah, just make a new Atlantis.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the main thing because, like, I forgot. I don't know. Do you guys listen to any other podcasts? Which ones do you guys listen to?
I love my favorite murder and like true crime podcasts a lot. I used to listen to Professor Blastoff, which is like a comedy science podcast, but it got canceled. But mostly just murder.
My coworker Jessie, she listens to that one.
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah. What was the first one you said? My
favorite murder?
Yeah, she listens to that one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Jesse's cool.
How do you know her? She's cool.
She's cool.
Oh, I listen to Armchair Expert with Dak Shepard religiously.
What
Yeah.
what is that one about?
It really kind of turns into basically like it feels like somebody's counseling session. Like they just go so deep into their lives, and Dax just has this way of pulling things out of people. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he talks about himself a lot too, though. But
Does he really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how you get people comfortable, though. That's how you get people talking.
Good point.
So like while he's interviewing the person, he'll talk about himself.
Yeah, he reveals like a lot of super vulnerable stuff all
Yeah.
the time. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because it would be weird, right, if you're asking all these questions and you're not really like doing that. Does he repeat a lot of
Yeah.
stuff? Does he?
Yeah, he
Okay.
does.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Do you listen to the WTF podcast at all?
Never heard of it.
That's the Mark Maron one.
Yeah.
Oh, I have listened to a couple episodes actually.
Like
yeah.
the people you like
I think I
showed
listened
to
to
you.
Marilyn Manson on there.
Yeah, you
Ooh,
did.
That was a good one.
It
dude.
was, yeah.
I have not heard that one.
I love
Yeah.
it. Oh my god, I love that podcast.
Yeah, that was so like I started listening. I think the reason why I even started listening to podcasts was because I saw that Tom York from Radiohead.
Yeah.
He was on it.
That was a great interview.
heard
Yeah.
That was a great his interviews with musicians I think are the best.
Yeah, because he likes it. He's like
He loves music.
Yeah, and he
Great
plays.
blues player, yeah.
Yeah. So so I got into that one, and then the Joe Rogan Experience, and then
Okay.
like pretty
that
much
one I haven't heard, but I know it's like a lot of people's faves.
Yeah, it's good because he's got like a variety of stuff on there. Anyway.
Yeah, he goes like deep and talks about crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah. I mean, he's got controversial people on as well. You know. Yeah.
But that's important.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is exactly like
You gotta.
you're gonna
Controversy.
be you're gonna be classified if you don't have people like that because you're left or you're right.
Yes.
And then it's like he tries pretty hard to just.
If
be
you're
like,
in the middle, then you got to talk to everybody.
you have to talk to everyone. Yeah.
That is something we've brought up a lot too on this, and I'm glad that you guys have that perspective of, you know, that you have to have that conversation, you know what I'm saying? Because in my opinion, if you try and shut down, even if you consider it hate speech, for example, I think that that's just going to feed the fire. Like,
Yes.
the idea would be to combat that idea with like a better idea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you mean when people try to say like hide or blackout or like erase, when people like say something like a controversial like statement, like when you try to like delete it and erase it and like say you can't say anything like that.
Yeah. Or banning people.
Banning people
You
so
know,
bad. It's
yeah.
like censorship. It's
freedom of speech is freedom of speech.
freedom
for
of speech is
everyone,
freedom of speech for
even-
everyone.
Even if you don't want to hear it.
And if you don't protect it on the internet, which is what you're saying reminds me a lot of everything that's been going on Facebook with like people trying to like post stuff and then like getting it banned or blocked, their post blocked.
yeah.
That's like a lot more censorship online now.
Yeah.
Which is kind of scary to think, man, because like, I mean, we've had this before with like the only example I can really think of is like Eminem, where they were trying to censor him, for example, and it's like he's an artist, you know, like that could
Right.
happen to us, technically speaking. Someone can take something out of context and
You're so right.
decide like, oh, you like your lyrics are kind of weird or something, like let's
Yeah.
censor that shit, you know? And it's
Yeah.
fucking, it's scary.
It's
man.
funny because I just listened to his albums again, and it was just crazy because I was listening to what he was saying, you know, even outside of what he actually said, but just the idea of people trying to, he was getting sued and trying to have all of his shows canceled while he was selling millions of records.
What?
So it was just like kind of like backwards. So he was like, so you're going to stop me, but everyone is listening to
Right.
the album anyways.
Right.
You know, and it was just like he was just poking fun at that, like you got to be able to say what it is that you need to say. You know,
I love Eminem.
Really?
Oh my god,
Yeah, I
it's
do.
so
I do.
badass.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything that he said that didn't. It's like, yeah, they're off. The lines he has are off color, but I feel like the emotional value of having someone express themselves so clearly and passionately. Like, yeah, he's saying like really fucked up shit, but like at least he's expressing himself.
And the thing is, it's like, come on, he's never been convicted of murder,
Right.
He's never been convicted of rape, so he's obviously not doing these things.
He's
Like
obviously
that song Kim where she's like in the trunk.
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Yeah,
that
he's-
song
he's
was
not-
brutal.
Yeah.
He's freaking crazy.
I bumped that in 6th grade.
My mom would constantly throw my CDs away.
Really?
His CDs away, and I would just go and get
no.
them burned again. And
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm gonna listen to it.
I will find a way.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I heard that song, Kim, and that shit was like, oh my god, like this is intense.
Oh,
like,
from the Marshall Mathers?
yeah.
I just keep
dude.
thinking about being Dr. Dre, sitting in that studio going, am I gonna die tonight? Because like,
Oh,
what
shit.
the is happening right now?
He's like,
Keep it
"White
rolling,
people
though.
are
Keep it
crazy."
rolling.
white people are fucking weird.
And you
Dude
crazy.
is nuts, dude.
That's funny. Okay, so let's get into these questions here while this computer's working still.
Yeah.
So when did you guys start playing music?
Like in general or together?
In general, yeah. Like when was I guess what was your first instrument and
Guitar. My dad got me like those like kid guitars with nylon strings that are like easy for little kid hands to play when I was 12, and I had that for a while. And growing up, I was in like church and youth groupie stuff. I don't do that no mo, but but like I tried to be in like the youth group band and everything. Oh my God, they had too many guitarists, so they told me I could play unplugged electric guitar on stage next to everybody else. That was when I was 14, yeah.
Oh my God.
That was a nice way of saying you don't make the cut.
You suck.
Play unplugged over here.
Jesus don't love you.
Oh no! Jesus Christ!
That's so good. Jesus.
But yeah, so just guitar. I got better. Now they let me plug in. They let me plug in.
Imagine if like we all find out like you still do that.
Like I'm the Britney Spears of guitar, and like someone else is playing backstage, and I'm just like,
like Courtney Love.
yeah, like Courtney
Oh
Love.
my God,
But I
yeah.
love Courtney Love.
Did she
Like
do
Courtney
that?
Love.
Yeah, she-
Oh yeah, there's this awful video that just it isolates her guitar and her vocals, I think, but it's
I've seen
awful.
it too, dude. It's brutal.
You seen it? Yeah.
It was the sound engineer, or like the sound person of that night was like, I don't know what happened. He got pissed about something.
She probably threw something at him.
and
Just
he
Courtney'd him.
posted it. Yeah, and he like
That's
posted
badass that he did that.
Yeah, if she was being a fucking asshole, then I would say sure. But also, damn, dude, that's pretty fucking
Brutal.
harsh, man.
It's brutal.
That's fucking harsh,
Yeah.
dude.
And yeah, I'm sorry, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, unless you have some straight up logical reason. And even then, it's kind of rough, you know. Just do what Nirvana did and just fuck up the song on purpose.
Fuck up the song on
Yes.
purpose. Yeah, exactly.
Song on
So
purpose.
funny.
Fuck up the song on purpose.
It just, fuck this song.
What about you? When did you get into Muzak?
Oh, my first instrument, I bought a bass when I was about 15. I ordered it off eBay for like $200 and had no idea what I was getting. And it was like the most off-brand like P-bass style. And I was really, really, really into like Korn and Slipknot and Limp Bizkit and all of that. And I thought that that's the kind of music I'm gonna play. So I would like be just constantly trying to play that on my 4-string. Like, oh, all these guys have 5 strings, and I super could not do it. So I learned how to play The Beautiful People.
No.
Sort of. So I got super mad at it and sold it to my best friend's dad and ended up buying it back from him 2 years later and still have it. But
Oh, nice.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
But I didn't start playing any music at all again really until like sometime last year. So I took a really long time off of playing music. Like I have a ukulele that I mess with and stuff, but
Interesting. So a
Yeah.
year ago, you started getting back into it like heavily, basically.
yeah, because Kate plays music 24/7 probably when she's sleeping. So just having music around all the time, she was always harassing me like, oh, play the bass again, play the bass again. So I started to, and then she bought me this super awesome short scale bass that is much easier to play. So I just started playing again, and magic.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have experience with like? Have you played in other bands before at all?
So our first band together was the first time I had ever played out with a band. I'd open mic'd alone, and I'd open mic'd with other people, but had never booked a show until our first band together. And that we played started October.
No, we started that one in August of 18, the Manic Episodes.
Okay, yeah, and then we just merged it into this.
Sort of. We had it as a side project going on at the same time as the Manic Episodes for a little bit because I had taken a pretty big interest in the drums and wanted to do that. And we had these songs that Kate had already written a bunch, and I was starting to write these songs that really didn't fit what we were doing with Manic Episodes. So we started playing them that way. We'd had a weird format at first, actually, where some I would do lead singing and play bass while she would drum, and then we would switch, and she would play guitar and sing the song, and I would drum. But being the front person is super not for me. I learned never, ever, ever.
No, I couldn't do that either, though.
But I found my home in the drums. I love the drums.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
For sure.
that's actually really interesting, and I find that really fucking cool. That I thought you guys have been playing for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, open micing and playing acoustic guitar is doesn't even compare. It's just the kind of work it takes to be in a band and really, work, communicate, create art with other people, and then also balance the business end of booking shows and stuff. So it's like, yeah, that playing by myself didn't prepare me for that at all. It just prepares you for the performance end, but like nothing else. So this has been like a big crash course for me.
Yeah.
Learning all the stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, that's actually really interesting because most of the people that we've had on here have been like playing for a long time.
Yeah.
You know?
All your guests, for sure.
So that's really interesting that you guys are just starting out. Like, man,
As an old person that's turning 30 this week.
I saw that you're turning 30 on Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good memory.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Well, so I guess this is actually interesting then. So I guess what have you found to be the most difficult thing about, I guess, playing?
I think for me, it's letting go of holding on to like what people think about me. It's like something you don't realize that like you hold to such extreme until you like start performing in front of other people. Then there's just those nerves of just like, what do they think? Are they gonna like me? Blah 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 blah. And that's just been one of those things that I've only been able to learn from being in bands and like playing in front of people. Just getting over that. Just focusing on just be true to your art, be true to yourself, be true to your band. Just represent yourself like well and be kind to people, and everything else is out of your control. You can't control if people are gonna like your songs, so just play what you love.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. What about yourself?
The social aspect of it sometimes gets me pretty exhausted. I'm kind of an introvert, so going out and playing shows and going to other people's shows makes me feel like I really need to go like recharge my batteries. So I find that I have to like make so much more downtime that I wouldn't really need before when we play out a lot. And like showing up to a venue and having to make those first introductions with the venue owners and like bands you haven't met, I'm always in the car like, I'm so scared, like but then as soon as you get in there and you meet everybody and they're super chill and it's just fun.
Yeah.
But it's always like the jitters before.
Yeah.
I just get so socially anxious and shy.
You, I think you guys, well, maybe Emily, but I don't even know. But I feel like you guys are the first people to really like we connect on that like hard.
Oh, awesome.
Because like
We're not weird.
no.
We are. That's kind of weird.
But we're like that too. I mean, it's like we've said this a couple times, but it's been difficult to do that because
It's rough.
yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough to like, I don't know. It's just, I guess when you're introverted, you just kind of, I don't know.
It's like fight or flight, and it's like going against your reaction of running away.
Yes.
You know,
or
like,
fighting because you have to be still kind and
something is telling me to do this one thing, and then I'm forcing myself to do the opposite.
Yes.
And it's so bizarre because, honestly, sometimes people suck.
Sometimes people are so mean.
I have met a lot of really nice people.
Yeah.
I have, but I've also met a lot of dickheads. Like a lot, and I don't care for that. And then you run the risk of meeting that person.
Anti-dickhead podcast.
Exactly. So it's rough, man.
It is really rough. And then, the other side of that coin is all the nice, wonderful people you meet and how you want to support them and you want to be at every show, including your own shows. And it's just like, when you have an introverted side, it's like you can't do everything you want to do sometimes.
Yeah, you can't make it to all, and then you feel guilty because it's like, well, they came to our show, and like we really need to go to their show.
Yeah, but it's definitely a balance.
This is literally like my thoughts.
That's very validating. It's so nice
that's fucking
to
funny.
feel like other people who are farther along to like that stage that we want to be at, like still have those feelings. It's actually like really nice to hear,
Well,
I would say only recently we've been doing the going to show things and not leaving shows right away after we play, because we would do that all the time.
Yeah.
You
That
guys,
was like the biggest thing. Like we would play and then we were like, let's.
Because you just want to be home,
Yeah.
especially after playing a show and being like vulnerable, being on stage. I just want to go home right away, but you have to like make yourself stay.
Yeah,
I know, and I always get like a little like standoffish when people talk to me afterwards, which I love because people are saying really nice things or like meeting new people, which I love. But at the same time, I'm like, I just played and I feel really vulnerable, and I just need to go like stand in a corner for like 5 minutes and then talk to everybody.
Well, that's another thing too. It's like I say this on stage, but I know for a fact. Well, I think it's also because I know like most of the time people won't do this, but like I'll say like come talk to us,
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, like
You mean it only a little bit.
like I don't know, man. It's just a weird thing. Like for me, before like I feel like now that I've done it a little more, I'm getting more used to it and not freaking out as much. But like I would literally have anxiety about just like thinking about the night, like not even specific things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's not like I was like worried about. I know, like I just had that feeling if something bad was gonna happen.
Exactly,
know
like
what
just
I'm
that there's no reason for this. I know at the end of the night I'm gonna have thought back and that this was the best night ever. But like beforehand, it's like
Yeah.
get me away from here.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Like,
much goes into preparing for that like 30-40 minute set.
Yeah.
Preparing all your nerves all day and
Yeah.
the morning,
Yeah.
literally, I open my eyes the day of a show day, and I'm nervous.
Right?
The whole day.
I'm nervous like 3 days before.
It'll be like
Packing my
Friday. We play Friday. I go to work, and they're like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I'm like, I don't know. Like,
Heard.
yeah,
Yes.
it's the worst. It's the worst.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the other thing that helps too is like playing outside, like going like out of state and kind of seeing like, okay, like we can do this. Like this is
Oh, I thought you
we're
meant
fine.
outdoor shows.
Well, that helps too.
We're playing our first out of town show this Saturday, so we'll tell you what playing outside feels like after that.
Not out of the state, but a little bit up to Gainesville.
Nice, yeah.
We're
yeah.
out. We're out of we're out of Tampa.
Well, okay, so before I forget this, I wanted to say that the fact that you guys are already at this point where you're, going to shows and talking to people, I mean, I think you're way ahead, for example.
Aw,
thank
and we've been
you.
playing for 10 years. And so I feel like we probably, like technically speaking, I feel like we've probably started at the same time, really. Because I feel like doing that is really when you start, because you're building like networking. You're networking with people and stuff like that. You're building friendships and stuff. You know
Well,
what I'm
that's very
saying?
kind. That's very kind. But you guys
So-
are very much veteran status and have been putting in a fuck ton of work, making some great tunes for a long ass time.
Oh, jeez. Stop it. This is not the point of the podcast. So actually, what I did now is I'm recording on this now.
Okay.
So we should be fine for the rest. I should have just done that from the beginning, but I
Sweet.
didn't even think about it. So
Yeah, and usually we do as well.
Yeah,
Like usually
I-
we're like, we're gonna start those because
Once done.
of this exactly.
Yeah.
So what it will be is a lot of editing, but that's okay.
Yeah,
I
now
don't
that
wanna
we have
miss
this,
it.
that'll
For
help.
you.
Yeah, I don't want to miss anything, man. You guys have been great.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so with that said now, so since you guys this is, I guess you guys would say early. So what are your goals? What would you define as like success for you guys?
Great question. Amanda?
Just the ability to tour around and play music and not have to be worried about the day job, really, which would take a lot of time to get to that point if we ever were to get to that point. But that's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
goal for me. Yeah.
I want to be on WMNF. I just want to hear my song on WMNF.
I want a moon man, damn it.
Oh yeah, that's Amanda's dream, is a moon man. Of winning a VMA, is making it.
I don't even know if they still have
I
those.
don't know either. I don't think so.
Movement, is that
MTV.
right? Oh, that's too funny.
But
That's too funny.
It's more important than a Grammy.
but being able to play out of state and having people actually like want to see us play out of state, yeah, being able to get in a van and tour around.
Yeah.
Opening for the Breeders, that would be my biggest dream of life.
Ooh. That's a good. I like that.
That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be intense.
That's
I think I'd just pass out in front of Kim Deal.
Kim Deal, I love you. You're my hero.
Just play that bass line.
Just say good morning.
Dude, I love her demeanor on stage. Like
Yes. Did you guys see them at the Ritz in October?
the Breeders. No.
Yeah.
I
No,
didn't.
we wanted to go. Why? We didn't go for a good reason though. I don't remember what that reason.
But it was a
May
damn
have
good
been-
reason.
May have been broke, to be honest. I don't remember.
That's a good reason.
That's
always a
the
good reason.
best reason.
Yeah. I was like, no,
I
we gotta save
literally
money.
can't go.
But
But
we did see the Pixies.
What?
I've seen the Pixies 3-4 times.
That's amazing.
But it sucks because they've all been without Kim though.
you didn't see him pre-Kim, yeah.
Yeah, no,
I mean, like our generation, we wouldn't have even had the opportunity, really.
yeah, it's not even fair.
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
What do you think that was?
What broke them up?
Well, not broke them up, but
I mean,
guess
what
why
made
she
her
ended
leave?
up leaving. Yeah.
I really think everything I've read in like interviews and stuff, Frank Black like did not seem to give her any artistic freedom, and he was even like jealous that Gigantic was such a big success because it's like a her song. And what were you telling me about? Because this is what we talk about at home.
And I'm not going to remember because I can never remember.
What didn't he
anything
like
in the
throw
world.
stuff at her on stage? Like he threw a guitar at her on stage.
I believe I found something on YouTube with that. Yeah.
Wow.
What?
I'll have to look that up and send it to you guys if you want to
But
see.
yeah, we
Like
could-
recently or like? Well, not
No,
recently.
back in
but-
like the 90s.
Like when they were playing,
Like
yeah.
back in the 80s or 90s.
When she came back, though, you could tell that it was a lot chiller. But it for a person who seems to suffer from anxiety and all those things,
Yeah.
I'm sure it still felt almost like the same for her. You know what I mean?
So
Like,
true.
It probably didn't
So
feel
true.
any different. Like she's just like, I feel uncomfortable.
Exactly. No matter how much time has passed, once you're like around that person again, it's like,
Yeah.
"Ugh, dude,
It's icky.
it's icky.
She seems like she has creativity just flowing out of every part of her body. So if she's working in a band with somebody that's kind of
Stifling that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or maybe he's the same, you know, maybe they both are like,
they just-
you know how there's like that alpha in that kind of like creative
Right.
situation, if like a John versus Paul kind of dynamic, there's like always going to be tension.
Yeah, and they got lucky because that didn't seem to be the case with them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that
They did get
sucks, man. Because well, I remember what was it? Chumbawamba? Was that their first single that they made together after they got together?
okay.
That was her.
I
That
didn't
was
hear
her
that
song.
song. I didn't hear that song.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I don't
That
know.
is weird.
I don't know
then.
if they still have it as a single. I'm not sure, but I do remember like when because they
had that album when they first came back.
Yeah.
And they were like playing a lot.
Yeah. And then I think, if I remember correctly, I don't know. Maybe she wasn't part of Indie City. I'm not sure. I don't think so. Actually.
She was part of Indie Cindy,
She
right?
was?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought she was too.
Okay.
Or at least I think that was the period of time where they had her and then also would have had some recordings with the newer person.
That's why I think she started it, and then,
Yeah.
and then they were doing the tour thing, and then she did like a couple shows, and then she was out again.
Not feeling it.
Yeah.
Not feeling it.
I think it was like that, but
I wonder, because I saw that documentary that they released, the Soft Loud Soft one.
Ooh, I haven't heard
You haven't
that.
seen that?
I've seen that.
well,
I mean,
it was on Netflix.
Yeah, was
I
it?
don't know. We should
look
no,
for
it's
that.
on YouTube.
For sure.
yeah.
Oh no, you're right.
We
It
love
was
a doc.
YouTube.
It's
It was
on YouTube. Yeah,
Okay.
it's and I thought
Let's watch it.
after watching that things were kind of like resolved between them, because
I
they
thought so, too.
kind of did talk about
Oh,
that.
I want to
that-
watch this.
That
Yeah.
there was like a weird, like a weird breakup. And
yeah.
almost like they didn't really go into detail about stuff, but like almost. But who knows though? Like for all
Yeah.
we know, they could have been the same old shit. He could have been like,
Exactly.
sorry about that, but still gonna do the same shit.
Or like I, say all the right things and then slide back into that. Or maybe they just are mature enough to know they shouldn't be in the same band and they should just part ways and they'd be happier.
To me, it seems pretty amicable.
Amicable, yeah.
Like the second time.
The
when
second
she joined
time.
and she left. Like I feel like it was just like, hey, I'm gonna sit you down. Not feeling it, dude. I'm out.
We don't
Later.
we're oil and water. Because if you both should be the front man
It's gonna
slash woman, it's gonna
It's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
To figure it out.
I wonder if I wonder if it has to do, because I know that she.
Band, though. God.
God, I love him so much. Favorite song, favorite Pixie song. Everyone say it now.
Silver.
Tame. Bleed. Oh, I bleed.
I bleed. Tape.
my second
Silver.
one.
Silver.
Cactus.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Everyone's answer was right.
They can't be wrong when it's the Pixies, though.
Cactus is that's actually on that documentary that I was talking about.
Uh-huh.
David Bowie, I think, is actually
He's
mentions
talking
that
about
song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, he's like-
I think he covered it actually. Yeah,
I think he was talking about that.
Oh my God.
yeah, it was fucking dope. Yeah.
One of the many things me and David Bowie have in common.
Okay. So, how do you guys feel about current music that's being released?
I don't
Good
know most of
question.
it.
Good question.
Other than local stuff, I really don't know most of what's being put out there.
So then, how do you feel about the local stuff? And obviously, without naming names, if you don't like stuff, that's fine.
I love Last You.
Bless you.
I really, really, really loved Longfinger before they broke up too. They're super grungy, kind of similar to Nirvana, so I appreciated that.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I saw them at their last show that night.
The time we didn't talk
Yeah,
to
the
each
time-
other on accident.
That should be the name of the podcast. The time we didn't talk.
Oh,
You
yes.
have to post it like that.
Yes, the time we didn't talk.
I remember, and it's kind of rare that, I'm like, oh, this is something I haven't heard.
Right.
And I felt like that with them, and then when I heard them, like at the end of the show, they're like, "Oh, like thanks for coming. This is our last show." I was like,
bonkers.
"Oh fuck,
I was
dude."
shook.
Yeah, man. I was like, "Damn!" And I just met this guy Blake, and I was just like, "Fucking A." But anyway, yeah, they were great. Yeah,
Discovering and then losing a band the same night.
Yeah,
There's a lot of emotions.
it's like an anime.
It's like an anime.
You've taken so quickly.
Digging. But he has a new band.
Yeah, I'm
We're
pretty.
gonna see them on
Friday. You
the
guys
Drain
are going?
Outs.
I
Drain
think
Outs.
we're gonna be there too.
Viewers
so.
like you. We can talk.
Yeah, we can talk. We know each other now.
Now you guys we can walk up to
We
each
can.
other and be like, I know you.
Hey.
Now we
I
can
was
be
at your house, so now I'm not creepy.
I know your
awkward
cat.
together.
I know your cats. Pam.
Yeah.
Pam, vouch for me, Pam. Pammy.
Yeah, I'm super stuck in the 90s and 80s.
Yeah,
and
I think that's
70s
the
and
last.
60s,
That
and
new
that's
music
pretty
to you
much,
is the 90s.
Well, no, I really, really, really was like super into the emo music in the 2000s in high school. So,
Really? Okay.
but now I listen back to it and I'm not
As fond
into
of
it,
it.
except for Brand New is my favorite band and I still love them.
Nice.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
rad. I like new music. I like
Vince
contemporary
likes them.
stuff. Vince,
likes
Yeah,
them
he
a
likes.
lot,
Yeah, he
you know?
does a lot.
viewers like
yeah.
you. Vince, Vinny.
That, I can hear that influence in their music.
You can?
All those
Totally.
Same X on Day kind of bands.
Yeah.
Totally.
What about yourself?
I love new music. People who are out now who I'm really, really inspired by. Courtney Barnett is probably the most recent person who I just felt like that super deep connection to her music. She's really cool. Like the old tradition of like female singer-songwriters just being more like acoustic guitar or like on a piano and like having that more mellow vibe. She's got an electric guitar. She's got a badass band, but she writes these like really intelligent, funny lyrics. I don't know. I love lyrically driven stuff.
It's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, so there's some cool stuff like that out nowadays.
Like Jewel.
Like Jewel.
I
Jewel's
love
amazing. Her
Jewel.
lyrics are
Yeah.
beautiful.
Jewel's dope.
I don't know
Yeah.
who it
Is
is.
do- I mean,
You don't know who Jewel is?
I should slap you right now.
You should slap him right now. You should just sing him Jewel songs.
Who's Jewel?
She's a singer-songwriter, female. Like she had a band too. But
Yeah.
She did a lot of
Do
acoustic
you know
stuff. And
the song like "Who Will Save My Soul"?
Who will save? I don't sing. So.
What?
What? Okay. After this podcast, we're gonna play him some Jewel.
Yeah.
And he's gonna love it. And
We're gonna listen to
The whole
Jewel.
Pieces of You album. Pieces of You, Pieces of Me. I
You.
can't remember.
Pieces of.
Pieces
Jewel.
of Jewel. Wait, so if Ani DeFranco is still putting out music, can I count her as current music that I love?
100%. Anything that's released in
All right.
2019, you're allowed to talk about.
Bring it all.
Bring it all up. Lizzo. I love Lizzo. Do you guys like Lizzo?
I've
Never heard of Lizzo.
She's a rapper and she's amazing. She's just very good for if you're just feeling down and you're just having one of those days where you don't feel good. She's very like uplifting, self-love.
That's dope.
Yeah, she
You love
dope.
you
So
some
it's hip-hop,
Yeezus,
though.
too.
Yeah, yeah, it's hip hop. I love modern hip. I love Kanye.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting. I wouldn't have thought that you liked rap. That's cool.
it's my. I keep it undercover. No, I'm just kidding.
That's my guilty pleasure.
It's my guilty pleasure.
Along with Keeping Up with the Kardashians on our TV 24/7. Every time Kanye comes on, she's like, I'm like, you gonna switch teams for Kanye?
Yes, I would.
That's funny that you say that
hysterical.
because I mean personally I haven't listened to. I think the last album I heard from him was what was the one with Flashing Lights.
Oh yeah, that. Flashing lights, you
That's
believe in
the-
shooting stars. Graduation?
Graduation.
2007?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the last one that I heard. And I'm not I'm not the guy that thinks that like everything he's doing is because he's dumb or anything like that.
Yeah.
Or crazy per se. Like I almost feel like he's trolling people.
He's a troll, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe I'm on that camp.
Yeah.
He's a troll. He wants to get a rise out of people.
Yeah, I definitely like. It's funny because my best friend, he's like, I get why people don't like him, but his music is still good, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's fair. As long as his music, I mean, I haven't, like I said, I haven't listened to it, but as long as people are just like, yeah, but his music is good, I'm like, all right, I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I actually do not care for the gentleman. I don't.
Yeah.
I want to hear from you.
I don't know. I don't like that sound of music in general. It's not just
Yeah.
him. I just don't
Is
like
it
that
like the
sound.
style of hip hop he plays, like that vibe of hip hop?
It is, but I can also say he's better than like Lil Wayne.
Yeah, I agree on that.
He's an F baby.
You like Lil Wayne. You love Lil Wayne, Amanda.
He was just the bee's knees when I was in high school, man. I don't know.
He was the bee's knees.
Yeah, I just don't know. I'm also not a huge fan of hip hop.
Okay, yeah.
He can
Yeah.
vouch
And
for
that's
that.
super fair. That's super fair.
I like Eminem, Run DMC, the Beastie Boys, and that is about it.
All a girl needs.
MGK.
Damn, that's so, wow, that's hilarious.
Who do you like?
So my introduction to music was actually rap.
Oh,
Didn't
cool.
start listening to rock music until I was in high school. So I was like heavy into rap, like from I
Bone
guess from like
Thugs.
Bone Thugs.
And Harmony.
Yeah. Yes, dude. That's my favorite group. Outkast, Tupac, Biggie, I mean from the 90s cuz when
Classic.
and Eminem and stuff like that, and Kanye at the time when he was coming out with stuff. Nowadays it's Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick, yes.
That's my boy. I've heard a little bit of Tyler's new album, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Isn't he coming to town?
Yes, I just saw that today.
Tyler? Yeah.
would
Is
be
that
fun.
Tyler, the creator?
Yeah.
I'd be down to go watch that. That stuff that your brother showed us on YouTube.
Yeah.
The Tiny Desk.
Tiny Desk.
Tiny Desk?
NPR, yeah. Is
Yeah.
that NPR? That is NPR. Right?
He did a Tiny Desk concert?
Yeah.
And it was
How
so
charming.
Yeah.
I want to watch it.
It was so good. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
I was
cool.
like, that sounds really nice. It was cool.
I've learned that, like, because I've always wondered how to be with the crowd.
Yeah.
And I think I've noticed that if we were the way we are right now, for example,
Mm-hmm.
with the crowd, people would understand that you're being yourself.
Yeah.
And they would like that. Like, you don't have to put on a persona, and I feel like that's something.
I can't be like this.
What, like this?
Like this right
Really?
now. I don't know
Oh,
you.
man. And I say that because Tyler, in that performance, he was himself. And it was
That's so
interesting
cool.
to see that, because I've seen like the Loiter Squad stuff and all that, and I think it's hilarious. And it's just funny to see him kind of be that kind of like silly. I would just say it's humble.
Humble, yeah.
It's humble, yeah. But it was just like silly. Like the way he was talking to them was like almost like how he would talk to his friends or something.
That is so cool.
And I was like, damn, man, maybe like on stage I should try, like, because I'm afraid to kind of be more of myself, like be silly on
It's really
stage.
scary. It's really
Yeah.
scary. You don't know how people are going to react.
Yeah, because it's kind of like comedy in that sense, where like
It is.
could bomb.
But like it's weird. The same way with comedy is the same way with like, you know, talking to people on stage. Is the more vulnerable you are, I think the more people enjoy it.
It's true.
Because you gives, you know, you're giving them, the audience, permission to laugh and like just be silly with you.
Yeah.
You
But
never look scared.
Huh?
You never look scared.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so scared. Oh my god, I'm so scared all the time on stage. It's so scary.
I don't think I blush ever as hard. I blush a lot, but I don't blush as hard as when Daniel goes and Elizabeth on the drums.
Oh!
And everyone starts clapping, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Yeah.
And this is my symbol.
It's a lot of attention.
Ugh, I hate it.
Man, like, I wanted to bring this up too about like social media stuff like that, like, because it kind of ties into like being an introvert, and it's like I feel so weird about like showing my life to people, you know, because you kind of have to be that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
this has been a cool way of doing it,
Right.
right? Because like I'm able to like talk to people like you guys, and it's just
Right.
like it's a little easier, but it's still weird, you know, because it's like
Yeah, like how much do you want people to know about you, and how
Right.
much of like the veil do you want to be lifted? Like there's got to be some kind of separation, right?
Yeah.
You can't have everyone know everything.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
I
It is
don't.
nerve-wracking.
It's like I would rather be vulnerable in my music and on stage than like in social media and stuff like that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly.
It's such a weird, but it's just like, dude, all the biggest artists right now. I'm not saying you have to do this, but just like they're all very vulnerable, and they just do like, and they're very like, I feel like their social media is like extremely intrusive to their life.
It is. Yeah, they like talk about things that you would talk about with like your best friend, but that they are the more successful people.
Yeah.
So there has to be some kind of correlation.
That was something that we kind of brought up with Phantom Funk, and like they were just like they were like, no, this is it. This is exactly what, like, this is the way it's moving. Is that you're gonna just have to be more accessible to people, which makes sense.
Right,
It
right.
makes sense.
I feel like it's been like that for like decades now.
Really.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
I guess since we're just doing it, like
It's new to us,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
I'm not good with that type of shit.
I'm
man.
not good with it either.
I was
Yeah.
like one of those kids like, oh, Zanga, like before MySpace, like let me post every personal detail about my life ever on there. Oh, MySpace, great. Let me post everything personal ever on there. I don't know why. Now I like look back at that stuff. I'm like, oh my god, that's so embarrassing. Why nobody cared? Why did you say that? So I'm I'm a lot more reserved now about things that I'll post on my personal Facebook.
Yeah.
But I still think it's super cool to be able to share with people that you wouldn't see on a regular basis and whatnot.
That's the right perspective. And I think the fact that you were doing that early on is actually like, you know, I mean, you can argue that it's probably something that you should still do technically. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Like, you don't want to, but it's just like, fuck, man. People really do respond. And like, my thought process is like, no one gives a fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
But they
Actually do. They actually do. I guess it's kind of erasing that thought of like nobody cares what I'm doing, because once you are a creative person who starts to put their things out into the world, it becomes good to have people care and good to have people give a fuck what you're doing.
Well, and recognize those people that do care.
Yeah.
That's what it
totally.
is.
Yeah.
It's like, it's funny because it happens a lot when I'm talking to my coworkers. Like, I'm like, oh, I got a show, and the questions they start asking me, it's just very interesting because I'm like, well, this sounds like a freaking interview. This sounds like
Whoa.
this sounds like I should have you on my podcast.
Yeah.
and we should just talk.
We should just talk about this.
and because it, and it makes sense because they don't know.
It's
don't
a totally
know.
different world.
It's a different world.
I forget
right.
that sometimes that some people don't play in bands
It's not a thing.
or are musical. It's
They're,
just
they're
weird
like,
to me.
You're getting ready for a show. What does that mean?
Yeah.
They don't know what it means, and it makes sense, But then it's interesting too, because like, my coworkers, like one of them, she likes reading a lot, right? And you get her going, and it's like so funny to see it because it's the way I get with music. So
Aww.
you just get her going on the right thing, and it's just like everyone's got their little quirk, and she's like, I just read this really good book, and I'm like, tell me everything, So it's everyone just has their thing.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's
They're
just-
that thing that they're super passionate about.
Yeah, and it just for us, it's music.
It's music, and it's very foreign to some people. It's very weird to like willingly go on stage and like do something in front of people. Most of my coworkers, because I work in accounting, they could like never imagine. They're so.
You work in accounting?
Yeah, I'm an accountant.
So you do numbers.
I do numbers. I do numbers all day.
But at the Straz Center, so you got
Yeah.
a little bit of creativity going on around.
I
Nice.
do.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
I do numbers over musicals.
So what? You basically sit there and you do the books after a musical?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And there's also restaurants and stuff, and there's a school, like a performing arts school.
Beers?
Anybody?
Beers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Por favor.
Where's your bathroom?
You go back there and you make a left. It's got a mirror on the door.
Sweet. Thank you.
And what do you do?
Well, I'm a supervisor, so I sit at my desk all day.
Right.
But I supervise a unit of service counselors that basically go out and follow up on abuse investigations. And after an investigator's went out and mitigated the risk, they go in and implement services, basically help people get placement into facilities if they need to, and all that kind of thing. So elderly and disabled adults.
Well, that sounds a lot more interesting than what I do. I work at a call center. So
Nice.
But
What
does-
kind of call center?
Health insurance. Well, we're a third party to health insurances, but yeah, yours seems a lot more interesting than mine.
It's something.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna try this. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah.
You put that one.
Oh damn! You just stole the last one.
I did.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I've actually never had this kind of Yingling before, so I'm excited.
There you go.
It's pretty. It's not too bad actually.
But yeah, no, that I mean, you seem to not like the behind the desk thing, which is actually a very it sucks.
It does suck. I really loved going out in the field and having that one-on-one with the clients, but of course you need to make more money, and it's social work, so it doesn't, and I work for the state, so it doesn't pay a whole lot as it is, so the natural thing was to move up, and now it's like,
so you actually used to do what you
supervise.
manage now.
Yeah. I worked like a bunch of different positions in there, starting with just working in the lobby when people were filling out their food stamp applications, which was like the worst job ever, but it was a foot in the door. So after working at Walmart for a million years, it wasn't much different, I guess. But
that's funny. That's funny.
You know, I used to work at Target, and that was fun, dude. That was. One of the guys, the guy I was telling you about earlier, I met him at Target, and yeah, that was an interesting first job. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I realized that people are very particular about their food, because I worked in the deli.
Oh yes, they are.
That was interesting, and also like it made me kind of realize like how ridiculous people can care about something when there's just like such. Like, I feel like there's way more important things in life to worry about. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, to be so upset about to be upset at a deli person, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it baffled me. I don't know. I was just like, why are you upset at me right now, lady?
Food and retail are the easiest way to see the worst parts of humans.
Ooh, that is 100% accurate. People show retail workers the side that they would never show to anyone else.
Anyone else.
So weird.
Which is bizarre to me because most of those people worked retail.
Right?
Because most of us are either in fast food or retail.
You either work at a... Yeah, exactly.
Kind of liked retail, though. I'm one of those weirdos.
Really?
Hey, no,
Yeah.
it works.
I sold cell phones, though, I worked in Walmart, but I sold cell phones, and we had this whole little store up front that was separated from the store, so I felt like I was away from the normal Walmart mumbo jumbo.
Right.
But
That's
yeah, just
interesting.
talking to people about phones and getting to play with the most recent phones and whatnot all the time was pretty cool. Versus like having to think about your job after you go home.
Yeah.
And like people's lives matter.
Yeah.
Versus like if I did something wrong with their cell phone plan, who cares?
Right.
It's not gonna, you know.
Right.
They're going to call and
affect
harass
them.
someone else.
What is
I think
that
my
called?
job is the most boring thing about me.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would say probably mine too, to be honest. I mean,
What do you do?
I do lake
Lakes.
management.
He's in lake management.
Yeah. So, but like to be more descriptive, I basically drive an ATV and I spray algae and invasive plants.
Oh, okay. Got
Yeah.
it.
That actually sounds pretty cool.
I was going to say, that. I mean, you probably have the most interesting job here.
Well, what's
yeah,
yours?
Like I would much
Oh,
rather have
call
your job.
center.
Call
yeah.
center.
That's right. You went to that. Yeah, call center for
Oh, sorry.
a third party for health insurance.
Got it.
So-
So you take a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, your job is the coolest. You do spray algae.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting job in the sense of like it's like no one knows that it's a job. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I
But when you
literally
do
did
it-
not know.
Who
until
would have
you got
thought
this
that?
job.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. But like doing it, it's like it's such an easy job. It's just literally like driving to a pond, treating it, and then that's it.
Okay. Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty chill in that aspect. Like the more interesting things would be maybe like the shit that I see, I guess. Like, you know, like the wildlife that I see and stuff like that.
Oh,
That's
what's
about
the
it,
coolest
though.
animal you've seen?
An otter.
An otter?
Yeah.
You've seen an otter?
Yeah.
In the
Why-
wild?
Why
Yeah.
didn't you tell me about this?
Yeah, it's-
Rude.
I am betrayed.
Go kayak
yeah.
at Wikiwachi. You'll probably see one.
You've seen otters? Oh my god.
We've been betrayed.
We don't even know them.
I've seen deer too, actually.
I've seen deer.
I've seen deer.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that
whatever.
existed in Florida.
We know all about deer.
The cute little key deer are my favorite. down
Key deer
south.
are super cute. Key deer are super cute. They have them at the zoo.
Yeah, we I work I don't know. Are you guys familiar with like Sun City, Apollo Beach area at all?
Not really, no.
Is that where that
there's a
one
manatee?
the little manatee
something.
river park that we drove through? Do we have to drive through Sun City to get there?
I don't
Yes.
know. I think it's close.
Okay.
You do.
Little
yeah.
Manatee River State Park.
Yeah, it's in Manatee County.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because we work through there, which is what the fuck is that? Is it I think that's Hillsborough County, and then we do all the way south to Bradenton.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a big radius.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have been to Motorworks Brewing at all.
Had their beers on tap, but I've never been there.
Yeah, same. I was like, I know that sounds familiar, but I don't remember being in there.
They're really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're down south. They're like really down south. So it's like working kind of that area.
Okay.
So it's funny because if I only worked in Tampa, I feel like I wouldn't get a true perspective on Florida itself. Because where I work, it's a mixture of retirees.
Yeah, Sun City, big time. Yeah,
For sure.
Have a lot of clients there.
Retirees. Now it's starting to be more developed, but a lot of like lower class, like white people.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is, I've never seen that. If we're from Miami and you don't see any of that
It's
out
just a
there.
totally different experience.
It's really weird, man. Like, I'm talking about like the Florida man guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see that every day.
Dude, I feel like the farther inland in Florida you get, like just the whole center of the state is Florida man.
Yeah,
Territory.
definitely. Well, I mean, I think like a lot of the other cities that you can think of, they're not really that much different. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Tampa is.
What about Bradenton? I've never been.
Bradenton.
Really? Yeah. I've never been to Motorworks.
I think Bradenton, if I'm thinking of it correctly, it's close to the water, so it kind of has a little bit of like a beach vibe.
Okay.
I might be completely
Sweet.
wrong.
Just kind of blends into Sarasota.
I think you're
Oh.
right. Yeah, you're right. I think you're right about that. Yeah, so just think of Sarasota then. Yeah. But yeah, it's weird, man. Florida's an interesting place. I mean, well, in terms of the fact that you have Miami all the way south, and then like, kind of like the middle ground of that would be Tampa. And then I feel like Tallahassee is like almost
Totally different. That's
Totally
Tallahassee
different.
totally feels like Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was like the first time I saw hills in Florida.
Exactly. It's totally different terrain. So how would you like compare living in Miami to living in Tampa?
That's a good question. You should do a podcast.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very
You
much.
guys should do it. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Can be
So-
our first guest.
Yes.
If you do it, I would love that.
Sweet.
So Miami was an interesting place to live because it was like, so interesting might be the wrong word. It was like, I got like so much paranoia from living there because like anything could happen.
Okay.
My mom was on her way to work one morning and 4 guys came and basically broke her window and stole
No.
her purse from her car while she was at a red light
the fuck?
on the way to work. Yeah,
Oh
so
my
shit like
God.
that would happen all the time. Like my house was broken into. Kenny's van was broken into when we were at a
Holy
gig.
Shit.
Yeah, I was 16 and a guy just came up to us while we were like waiting outside of a show and asked us if we wanted cocaine.
Yeah.
I was like,
JK.
hell yeah, bro.
And the answer is yes.
I already got some.
That's great.
Do you want to?
Do you want to come in?
But so like one of the more popular venues down there is Churchill's, and we used to play there all the time. It's a great venue. If you guys are ever down there, I highly recommend playing there. It's a great place to play.
Excellent.
I just saw
Excellent.
that Fever Beam was playing down there. Oh, that's a band I should have named earlier. They're like my favorite band.
Nice.
Fever
I
Beam's
haven't-
fantastic.
I actually haven't seen them yet. I think I
Do it.
I know. No, I don't know anyone from that band. No, I thought I did. I do not. I know a friend of theirs.
A friend of
Dizzy.
Dizzy. Okay.
Yeah, Abigail.
Their next show that's in Tampa is the same night that we have a show at the Hub together. So I
Oh.
was bummed to see that. I was like, oh.
Actually, now that you brought that up, I wanted to talk to you guys because I feel like this is happening a lot right now. There is like a shitload of competition right now with
It's
shows.
fucking real.
Yeah.
It's fucking real.
Like, I've noticed that a lot of shows... I think, actually, you guys had a show at Red Star while we had a show.
You guys had a show at Emeralds, and I saw that on the Creative Loafing concert calendar, and I was like, "Fuck! If we didn't have a show, we'd be going to the Emerald tonight." Listen,
Yeah, and you guys were playing at Red Star that night.
Yeah.
Which, if we weren't playing, we would have been at that show.
exactly. I was like,
That's so
"Well,
funny.
shit. Is there enough time to do both?"
Dude, it's fucking crazy, man. Like, I mean, it's a cool thing, but it's also like, fuck, dude. Like, I feel like it almost doesn't make that much sense to fucking book that much. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because how are you going to get people out, you know, when there's so much competition?
The festival idea that we're playing in September, can I say it? Can I talk about it?
Please.
Yeah, it's already been.
Oh,
yeah.
This spring.
That's a great idea, for example, doing stuff like that.
I'm really excited about that because then we can all play the same night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Missing each other's shows.
Yeah, exactly. No missing each other's shows.
That's way better. And
thank you guys so much for doing that.
Yeah.
For wanting to do that.
Thanks for having us, too.
100%. 100%. Totally stoked about that.
No, that should be dope.
I've wanted to play a show with you guys forever.
Do you know that we were actually, so back when in our first band together, our very first time we were going to play out was the Red Light Cafe.
At the Bunker, right?
At the Bunker,
Yeah.
and you guys were on it.
Yeah.
And then maybe got sick.
I don't remember what
But
happened.
something happened. Something came up. This was
Yeah.
back in August.
Yep.
But I think that's so
I
funny.
think that's what it was. He was dying.
No.
I remember I literally brought this up before you guys got here. I was like, I know for a fact that we were on a bill together and we had to cancel for some reason.
It was.
Yeah.
It's like ever since August we've been just trying to meet each other. It's our sliding doors moment.
I do remember. I do remember you guys messaging me that day too. I believe you were like, "Oh man, like for whatever the."
Because
I
you
don't
guys are
remember
super
what it was.
nice, obviously.
Yeah, it was.
We're super weird and creepy. Hopping into your DMs. Hey.
Technically speaking, for this, I hopped in your DM.
Ooh! We appreciate you.
Slide on into this.
We appreciate you.
we do an electric slide.
An electric slide, a Cupid shuffle into the
You
DMs.
used to know how to do that.
The electric slide? Oh my god, I need to see that.
I said used to.
But yeah, it is. It's like it's a good thing. Yeah, I feel like it's a good thing that there's a lot of competition, but it also kind of like hinders, you know, I guess the show outcome or whatever.
Like attendance at your shows.
Yeah.
Especially since we all, you know, would be going to each other's shows anyway. You know, the community's tight knit and people come out to support. And if everyone has a show the same night, it's like, damn.
Sucks. Can't make it.
When you guys are booking, like, do you guys try and book around, I guess, like, do you look at like holidays or dates and stuff like that? Like, do you guys like pay attention to any of that stuff?
I like
I don't really know.
I like to look out more for like weird venues, like places that have had people play, but like just like an unconventional venue. Like we have a show that's going to be at a Comfort Inn.
What?
No, yes. It's this awesome dude who puts on these shows at his project's called like Poisonville. And
Poisonville Songs Project.
And he puts together shows at the Comfort Inn at Suites. So I guess
In
to
St.
me,
Pete,
in
yeah.
St. Pete, I guess to me it's more like variety. Like I look at the venue and I look at like variety and like, this is weird. Like we're not gonna have.
Like we're gonna play the Comfort Inn. Woo!
We're gonna be doing something totally random. Like let's just get as much experience under our belt. I think more than dates, I look at places. Like this would be fun.
How is that even possible to play at the Comfort Inn though?
I guess he has an agreement with the people who own it there, and
it's in the parking lot.
Yeah, I think if they do smaller like acoustic acts, they do it in the lobby. I guess they started a couple of years ago in Wesley Chapel at a hotel over there, and I've seen videos of like in the lobby and outside. It's pretty interesting.
I really want to do that.
Yeah,
Totally.
I'm excited.
No, you have to.
That sounds fucking cool,
I'll look you up with their
man.
info.
I'll tell
to
you
book a
his
show.
name. Yeah, it was really nice.
That sounds. I like that, man. Like that fucking idea of like playing just like really like weird fucking shows like that. That's so cool.
Yeah, I just want to play with like as many different bands and different genres and at as many different types of venues as we can to, you know, reach as many different kinds of people. Because like say we play at this venue sometimes, the Verona, and and Newport Richie, and it's mostly like a metal venue. But so the people in there are not really going to be inclined to listen to our type of music, but
they're so welcoming and nice.
They really,
it's
really
like
are. They're like the nicest dudes.
Really?
But,
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a joy to play there, but it's just different.
I guess that's what we like to have. I guess there is a lot of competition. There's so many bands out there and there's like very few venues. So just that idea of like, that's so random. Why would I would never think of that.
But
That's
it sounds
better.
like from other areas that we're actually quite blessed with how many venues we do have in like Tampa, St. Pete,
For
and
real?
the surrounding areas. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you guys probably know way better than us because y'all have played around a million places.
We've played a lot of the same places. I'm
But
not
like
gonna lie.
different states.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the thing is, I will say that like I've noticed that. Well, I'm also learning about a lot more venues here, and I've noticed that there is a lot here. There's a lot of places you can play at. There's a big scene here, which I didn't really think was the case. I think it's maybe it's not like huge. It's not. I wouldn't say it's not like Austin or like Portland or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Nashville, those huge music cities.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of random, I guess like more like mid-level to even a couple bigger acts coming down here now, and it's just like to Tampa and Miami, not really to anywhere else.
And
it's
St.
like,
Pete too. I feel like Tampa St. Pete kind of shares a lot of the same traction.
and it's funny too because like I always like I didn't realize that there was a separation. So whenever I was saying Tampa, I would always.
It's exactly the same thing, really. It is.
That's
It's
what I
all
would
the Bay.
always say.
It's all Tampa. It's Tampa Bay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like saying you wouldn't go to like Miami Beach from Miami or from like Miami Lakes. Down
Are
south,
those
it's
different?
like yeah, because like
I went to Miami Lakes.
Miami Lakes is like the same distance. It's like 30 minutes, 40 minutes from
Oh, okay.
Miami Beach, where the Fillmore is, where a lot of bands play. It's like,
yeah, I've seen that video.
It is separate. It does look very different, everything, but it's like people are obviously going to go there to watch bands.
Like
if
you
they-
wouldn't do two separate tour stops to Tampa and St. Pete because it's like the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're choosing one or the
Fort
other.
Lauderdale and Miami, or do they do one or the other?
They could do both.
Yeah.
Because
So
that's like an hour away.
Oh, okay.
So if
I've
you go to
actually never
Miami,
been to
Miami people.
Just driven through.
We're into Miami.
Yeah. If you
Should
go to
definitely
Miami,
play.
people from Miami will go to that one. If you go to Fort Lauderdale, people from like Pembroke Pines, a little
Pembroke
bit
Pines. I've been to Pembroke Pines.
a little bit further north.
Sounds like an old
more-
town.
I've been to Pembroke Pines Mall.
probably a little bit more than that, but just the further north you go, the people will follow you, kind of thing. I don't know. South Florida is weird.
the way I've explained it to people is that I don't understand, and I didn't understand when I first moved here, that people weren't traveling from St. Pete to Tampa because of the bridge. Because they felt like it was a long drive.
Yeah.
Literally in Miami, to get to a show, you're driving 30 minutes. It's gonna happen.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, that's how it is.
So people are just spoiled here.
I
Yeah,
think so.
totally.
Actually,
Totally
I really
spoiled.
do. I really fucking do because I didn't realize that until
You're
talking.
spoiled, Tampa.
Internet, we're talking to you.
I didn't realize that, and then a lot of people were kind of bringing that up on the podcast. So I feel like that was like
Yeah.
a good insight. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
so there's a separation here. I didn't realize that. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course.
To the left.
Oh, she said where is? I thought she said, may I use your
May I
restroom?"
use your... Hold it. Till the end of the
No.
podcast.
Outside.
Outside. Like a dog.
But that it is weird because over there, like I think I don't know. I would have to talk to, and I'm planning on having Las Nubes, who we're playing with at the hub, on. So I'm gonna ask them about this because they're under a label and everything. So
Yo,
it's
thanks
like,
again. I'm like, super excited.
dude. That shit. That shit's gonna be fucking awesome.
gonna be
I'm very excited. Yeah.
Baya?
Yeah.
Lit?
Lit. It's gonna be lit,
Turnt.
dude. Yeah. But which I have to. That reminds me, I need to start promoting it more now.
I thought you were gonna say you have to light something on fire.
I need to light the promotion on fire.
Yes, us too. We're gonna kick it into high gear, turbo drive.
When do you feel like it's the best time to try and promote stuff?
This feels really good. I feel like a little under 2 weeks out, like within that week and a half, right?
Yeah, I think
it feels
so.
good. Like it's not so far out that people will be like, "What? The 15th? I've never heard of it."
Yeah.
It's
Like
like
it's close enough where they have to pay attention. They're like, that's only a week away. What are they talking about?
right, and it can't be too close because then they already have other plans.
Yeah. So.
Do you ever ask like people who aren't in bands their perspective on stuff like that?
No, that's a great question. That would be something, because those are the people you want to come.
That's right.
Right.
Duh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. What
Or
do
how-
they say?
So I've only done this once so far with someone that was on this podcast, and I asked him how he consumes music and like how he finds new bands and stuff like that. And it was basically like playlists was a lot of it. And in terms of, I guess, going to shows and whatnot, I didn't really get into that kind of thing, but I was kind of focusing more on like how he consumes music, and it's definitely like Spotify and that type of thing. But I think that would be an interesting question to ask people too. Would be like how far ahead should we like present this to you?
Yes,
you know
where
what I'm
it's
saying?
actually like making a difference and like you're actually going to pay attention.
Yeah, and how often as well should I remind you?
Because there's too often.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, exactly. Like it gets annoying and people are like, I'm not doing that now. Just
Out of
because,
spite.
Just because that was so annoying. I'm not
Exactly.
gonna go there.
That's how I feel about Breaking Bad.
every day.
And Game of Thrones.
I know about Game of Thrones.
I agree.
Winter is coming.
Yeah. Every winter's coming.
Every
yeah.
winter.
Good one, guys.
Because
No, we
Christmas,
get it.
I know.
Yeah.
Hate Christmas.
So, okay, so how is married life?
Married life is 100% awesome.
Yes, I concur, wife.
A wifey.
We've been married we just had our 1-year anniversary May 19th, so
Congratulations.
Oh, that's just
Thank you.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you. It's been really fun. I feel like as soon as we got married, we started a band. We were
that's
just
pretty
like,
much what happened. Yeah, we got married.
this
started
is
it.
happening. I don't know. I guess some people have kids.
Some people have kids. We started bands.
Yeah.
That sounds way more
It's
epic.
so much better than babies.
And cats are so much better than babies.
I
Dexter's
agree.
our baby.
100%.
Just call your album Baby.
Baby! We made a baby. Oh!
Yo, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Stealing it.
Yes.
That would be, if you legit do that would be pretty cool. It's like, I coined it.
Avoided. But to answer your question, I really love that we're so involved in music as married people, because I feel like that's like a little bit of a different track. Would like to have a marriage and then start a band. It's like having such a creative collaboration is so intrinsic to our marriage. I feel like it's so like
Yeah, it's just another part of our marriage. It
Yeah.
feels like in
That's
our
awesome.
relationship as humans to one another.
yeah. I feel like we would no matter what, we'd be making music together, because that was like the first thing that we bonded over, the first thing we talked about.
Oh my God, we made a joke about starting an Alanis Morissette cover band as like our first conversation on like whichever dating
Tinder,
app.
yeah.
No, it wasn't Tinder, because you blew me off on Tinder. It was her.
Whoa.
We met on 2 different dating apps.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because you blew me off on Tinder.
I did. She said she did not. It was around Christmas. I said, "What are you doing for the holidays?" And she said, "Waiting for them to be over." And I was like, "This seems like a huge bitch." And I stopped talking to her.
And then the next Christmas we were together, and like typical lesbians, we were already living together. And I'm like decorating for Christmas before Thanksgiving, so I was just
I
sad.
made you like Christmas. I made you like Christmas.
It's interesting because we had Keith on, and he's another person that's in a relationship as well and happens to be playing
Music with his
person.
wife.
That's right.
In Pogo, yeah.
We do that as well, and
Yes.
it's like there is this weird misconception of you shouldn't do that with your significant other.
Right. So you guys have heard that too, that weird
Yeah.
misconception.
Yeah.
Definitely like.
Well, it's because of the Beatles, obviously.
Right.
No, but Yoko,
No,
was
Yoko.
not in the band though. That's
Right,
the
she
thing.
was.
Oh,
Wasn't
that's
in the
true.
band.
That's true.
Yeah.
She actually ruined it from an out.
From an
It
outside.
was an
thing.
external attack.
Yeah.
Maybe
Bringing
if
them-
she was in the band, it wouldn't have happened.
That's-
Yoko, you should have been the fifth
It-
Beatle.
that's
Probably.
Oh.
If
Probably
you bring
right.
You bring them into the band, they get it.
They get it.
They get it.
They get it. They got the best ideas.
Honey,
I-
sweetie, boo boo, we're both busy. Okay,
Hey.
it's cool.
Sweetie Boo Boo.
Let's write songs together.
That's my new name for you, Sweetie Boo Boo.
Or just SB.
SB.
SB, you crazy right now?
You
okay?
cry.
You cry.
You cry.
Take it
But-
easy.
Okay.
So, without naming names, I know people that struggle with their significant other that they happen to not be musicians or in a band or something like
Yeah.
that. And you just kind of realize, like, I think honestly it's probably better, like, as long as you guys are communicating with, whatever, and separating the relationship from the band.
Right. Having time for your relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like it makes more sense to be together because you guys have the same goal in life.
You
Totally,
do have the
yeah.
same goal. Exactly. And anyone who plays music knows what you know, you kind of have to devote yourself 100%. It becomes almost an obsession, because like a positive obsession. It's like what you eat, drink, sleep, think about.
Yeah,
So
like if we played music separate from one another, we would never see each other because we would be like with our separate bands all the time.
Yeah.
Basically.
yeah.
Do you guys play a lot together, like at home and stuff like that?
We
Constantly.
do, yeah, almost every day. What about you guys?
Not every day.
Well,
No.
it's different because the rest of the band isn't here. Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, we'll
That's
pick
right.
up
Yeah.
different instruments and not necessarily be playing the same stuff like with drum and guitar.
I was gonna
too.
mention, like, so I've been doing like this drumming thing, this drum challenge video, and he's been helping me a lot with that.
Uh-huh.
So it's just spending time together.
Drain You was
Yeah.
rad, by the way.
Doing music. Say again?
Drain You was rad, by the way.
Yeah. That was actually really difficult. I'm not gonna lie.
The Nirvana song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like the end of that song. I'm like, but yeah, just having a person who understands what being a musician means, because it's like, it's not like that rock star life where you just I boom splat and then I get all the girls. You know,
Give me the
chill, like it's
bitches.
cool. It's like I have to spend like hours in there, you know, during the week.
Yes.
Practicing these songs
Yes.
in order to do those videos.
In order to do those videos,
I'm
exactly.
not spending time with him, you know.
Right.
So it's having someone who understands that.
Having someone, I think that, you know, maybe the music thing gets a bad rap, but if people viewed it as any other kind of business, you have a ton of couples who do the same job. You meet working together. Why is it any different with music?
Exactly, like two nurses.
Two nurses
would totally
That
understand.
would be the best couple because
Both work weird hours.
Yeah. They would
Well-
be like, "Oh, so you're working? That's cool, because I just finished working."
I'm gonna
crazy.
sleep for 3 days.
Yeah,
I just
I'll
work
see
12
you
hours, good
in a
night.
few.
Well, I actually wonder now, like, where that misconception comes from. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good question.
Because it's like, I've heard that. You know, like, I've heard that. Well, we definitely heard that when we first started dating, for
Yeah,
sure.
we did.
really?
Oh, yeah.
How
for
so?
sure.
Like, don't
Well-
date a musician?
Well, so it would be, it wouldn't, yeah, it would basically be like from people that weren't, like, it's not like, I don't think we weren't together. It would be like someone that I knew that would be like, yeah, it's, you know, it's probably not a good idea to be in a relationship with the person that you're in a band with.
Yeah.
Because it'll ruin the band.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, well, the only way we're breaking up is if one of us cheats on each other, and that's never going to happen. So it's like, if we do, if we break up the band, that's what I meant to say, and that too as well. But it's like, if we decided to break up amicably, like in our relationship,
Right.
it shouldn't necessarily affect the
the
music
band.
as well.
That is so true because, okay, who's to say they're questioning the commitment, but then are you questioning the commitment of the band too?
Exactly.
Because I'm
Exactly.
committed to this person, I'm also committed to the band the same amount.
It's two different. Exactly. It's like
Yeah.
it's two different things.
It is.
The only way that one would affect the other is
Cheating, and that would never happen, so shut up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah, which I mean, I totally understand. Like, if someone, you know, is like, oh, well, they cheated on me, I don't fucking want
I
to
don't
play
wanna
with them
see them.
anymore. You know?
Right.
Right,
Of course,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to see them every day doing this thing that I love while looking at them going.
Exactly.
You could just start as exes and lie and say you're brother and sister like the White Stripes.
Is that what happened?
That's what
Interesting.
happened. Yeah, they were a divorced couple.
Oh.
Yeah, they started the band as a divorced couple.
That said they were brother and sister.
Oh.
That's really strange.
I always
The weirdest thing I've heard all day. And I
always
listen to murder
wondered that.
podcasts.
like, I figured that I did figure that they weren't brother and sister.
Yeah.
I figured as much too. Yeah.
But I didn't know that they were divorced. I didn't know that.
They were divorced, and White is actually her maiden name. He took her name instead
I
of.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, and he still is Jack White.
So he
after-
kept her
Wow,
name.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know. I feel like that's progressive and
What-
rad.
Yeah.
What do you think she's doing?
Oh,
She's
man,
been,
I
like-
know. What do you
She's
guys
been
think?
out, man.
She's probably making bank from.
Oh no, she's
Oh,
rich.
Seven Nation Army.
She's just
so
still
rich.
Seven Nation Army royalties
Laying
still
on
coming in.
piles of cash.
Dude, you
It's
have noticed that song literally plays like at every sporting
It
fucking
has
event now.
never gotten old to some people. I don't get it.
It's wild.
Like, it's chanted like by the people.
Yo,
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, no, you're right. 100% right. It's fucking
pay,
weird.
Pay up that money though.
Yes.
Pay up that money.
Yes.
It's
I-
ridiculous.
like,
So
do
she
they-
must be just like, and plus their songs are used in movies all the time. Maybe I know that I've read that she was not a fan of the music life and the touring life and everything. And, you know, Jack is in a bazillion different bands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I wonder if she still makes music for her.
Probably not, man.
She probably writes for herself, but she's
think
probably
so?
like not interested in being in a band and
Yeah.
Sharing
and that
it.
stuff.
Or sharing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people like that.
That would be fun, actually. I kind of would like that.
To write music and not share it with anyone?
No, I would share it with people, but just like under a different like, is the word? No, I'm
A
gonna.
facade,
A
a
like-
different,
is
a
it-
different facade.
Like a
I wonder if it's
pseudonym?
monocle?
moniker?
Is that right?
Moniker.
Moniker?
Moniker, yeah.
I said monocle though.
Monocle.
Monocle.
I was wrong.
That is when you're wearing one single glass over your eye and using a different name.
Like the peanut man.
Like the Peanut Man.
Oh, I thought you said the penis man.
He's just a penis with glasses.
I'm going as that for Halloween.
Penis
One glass
for our Halloween show. One glass, one eye. But you see that a lot in hip hop. People having like a moniker.
Oh, I thought you meant one eye. Like
Penises. Penises.
You see that a lot in hip hop. One-eyed pieces. You're like, oh yeah, you're kind of right, actually.
Actually, now that you mentioned it, I'm noticing that too.
It started all with Tyler. He would start
Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Creator with the monocle. Penis.
He's just running around.
That is funny though. I do wonder like, yeah, what fuck, man? Because that band was pretty influential for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
I'm sorry to the Black Keys, but damn, White Stripes got me into that before the Black Keys came out.
Oh, for sure.
Oh.
For sure, no
I like the
question.
Black Keys more though.
you do.
But I got into
Yeah.
the White Stripes way before.
But
Way
the thing-
before.
Yeah, like I totally get it because that drummer and that guitarist rip over the White Stripes.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But
Really? No, Jack White is nasty, dude.
Jack White is nasty,
Yeah,
right?
but
But,
Meg
nasty,
White is-
but I'm talking about that band.
Go ahead. You got it. You got to say it.
No, like I should be not criticizing anyone's drumming because I've been drumming consistently for what, like 4 months?
No, but you have to.
Yeah,
do
but
it
it's
anyways.
not. It's you just
Come on.
gotta
I
say it.
don't
You just
know.
gotta
Just-
say
Are you
it.
talking about Meg's playing? Is that what
Yeah,
you're talking
It's
about?
just so they're just a little plain. That's
Well,
all. I don't want to be mean.
So
She's
I
an
wonder.
artist.
She's
Which
not
one?
listening. Oh.
Yeah, trust me,
No,
she's not
she's not.
listening.
Did she subscribe? Did she subscribe?
Actually, yesterday.
Yesterday.
She comments.
Oh my
what
God.
the
I
fuck,
criticize the way
dude?
anyone plays their instrument.
I was thinking of getting back into music until I watched the House of Fine podcast.
Someone should troll and just be Megan White come on the podcast. And just, but no, I get what you're saying. That's why I'm saying I think the Black Keys are.
They groove so much harder. They groove so much fucking
Yeah.
harder.
Especially the early albums, like
when it was
Attack
just the
and
two of them.
Release,
yeah, and
Brothers.
it's like
Attack and
so
Release,
bluesy.
so sick.
Yes.
Yeah, those
That's good
albums
shit
are-
right
That's
there.
oh man, I
That's
remember when my
fucking
dad
good
bought
shit.
me that CD for Christmas, Attack and Release. Whew.
But
Man,
unfortunately for them, though, I had not heard anything like that until the White Stripes, though.
Yeah.
Which I heard
The
them
White
first.
Stripes like brought it out first.
Yeah.
They
So-
like
so when
invented
I
that
heard-
duo thing.
When I heard the Black Keys, I was like, oh, so like kind of like the White
Kind of like
Stripes.
the White Stripes.
you know, I wonder actually.
So true.
I think they may have, because I do know that duo thing is actually not like that. They made it popular, but that was actually like I'm pretty sure that was a pretty common blues way of playing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like
well,
the,
that's cool.
The drummer, guitar player duo. It was like that. I think that's something that's been done a lot. Like
That's
back in the
fucking
day,
rad.
they happened to make it popular, and I wonder because I don't know. I wonder if they both started playing music at the same time.
Oh, and then the White
You get what
Stripes
I'm
just hit
saying?
it big first.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think that's
bet.
possible.
It's interesting that they're also both from the Midwest.
Detroit,
Detroit,
and
are from Ohio.
Ohio,
yeah.
right?
You just remember everything.
They do too.
I'm over here like
maybe you
what's
just
my-
forget.
What's my name?
do you research stuff like
Yes,
that?
I do.
Me too, man.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm on Wikipedia for everything all the
Yeah.
time, and
No.
then just fall in those rabbit holes.
I totally do that too, man. It's like it, and I hate it when there's like a new band that I like. And
Yeah.
I try and like look them up. I'm like, fuck. There's not a lot of shit about
Nothing
them.
worse than a blank Wikipedia page. Like
Yeah.
a Wikipedia page with 3 sentences? Don't even bother. I want to know everything. Where did you meet? Where were you born? How did you come up with your band name?
Well, that's what
If there
this
was
is
a
good
Wikipedia
for.
about me that had only 3 sentences, though,
You'd be
guys,
happy, right?
I'd be so stoked.
You can make one though, can't you?
You make your
let's
own
make a
Wikipedia
Wikipedia.
page, dude. Make
You
your own
should.
Yeah.
Wikipedia
But
page.
that doesn't count.
I'll make you one. For your birthday.
This is your Wikipedia page.
This is your Wikipedia
Welcome to your dirty 30s. Here's the Wikipedia page.
So actually, you guys kind of answered this a little bit, but not too crazy in detail. So, when and where did you guys meet?
Okay, you start.
Okay. So we met 2017? We met in
We started
2017.
talking initially in late 2016.
Okay, yeah. So we met online on one of those
Semantics.
dating apps, not important details. And so our first date was at the Independent in February of 2017.
We got yelled at by another guy sitting there. He told us to get a life because we were laughing too hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, dude?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Can you girls get a life?
He was just jealous,
He
bro.
was super jealous.
We were talking about Scream, and he literally looked like Wes Craven, but Wes Craven was already dead. We're like,
Yeah, it was
wasn't
weird. It looked
dead,
like
like,
Yo,
the...
Are
is
you
that
Wes
is that
Craven?
him?
are you him?
Yo. And then we went after the Independent. I was hungry, so we went to 3 Coins.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, because
Nice.
that play. I don't want to. No, I'm not gonna say it. I'll tell you guys off the podcast.
Off air?
Yeah, I'll tell
Is
you
this
off
an
air.
off-air story?
This
I'm
is
going
an
to
off-air
remember. I'm going to put a
story.
pin in that.
Yeah. But the.
So you guys went there.
Yeah. So that was our first date.
Yeah, we just
And
had
then,
some night breakfast and called it, and then we hung out again like a couple days later, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And then we have not stopped talking and hanging out since, and now we're married. And play
I was
music
gonna
together.
say,
It's great.
and now you're married.
and then we got married.
Were you guys like? Did you guys have any long-term relationships beforehand, or?
Yeah.
Yes.
I had a long-term relationship. I had one serious relationship before Amanda. But
You don't. And if you don't, obviously, if you don't want to talk about any of this stuff, you don't.
No,
have
I
to.
love it. I love the dirt. I love the juice.
I had a nice long 7-year relationship with a guy, and as I was kind of struggling and realizing my sexuality, and I had ended that several months before meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this bitch, I had a very similar situation where we were both. I had dated a guy through high school and college, and then broken up with him and come out like after that relationship, and I was single for 4 years, and Amanda is single.
It was like 4 months.
4 months.
I said several months trying to make myself sound better. That was October.
Four.
And we
It was
started dating in
4
February.
months. She was like.
She got lucky, basically.
She did not have to struggle through the awkward ass world of Tinder for very long.
I was blessed with meeting my beautiful soulmate.
Aww. How did you guys meet?
Oh.
It's not podcast appropriate. You can tell us
No.
how.
Oh, fair.
No.
It's not a big
This
deal.
is great. I don't. Have we talked about it?
I don't know actually.
time is now.
Yeah. No, definitely. So we met because I was playing music with Kenny, who's our guitar player, and another gentleman that basically got Kenny and I into music, really, like into rock music or whatever. We started a band, and she was best friends with Kenny's sister.
Oh, okay.
I worked at a Burger King with Kenny's sister.
Yum.
She tells me, got a brother, he's playing music, you're a drummer, come meet them.
Yeah.
They literally lived like across the street from that Burger King. So just one day after work, whatever, I decide I'm going to go over and meet them.
Mm-hmm.
We play.
Jammed.
They sucked. I tell the story exactly the same every time. I met them, we played, they sucked. I leave.
Were we really that bad for real? Yeah, we're bad. Okay, fair
What
enough.
kind of music were you guys playing?
No, we were just jamming.
Oh, it wasn't like-
It was just a straight jam. Now he's better than I am at his instrument, but whatever. At the time, I come in and I'm playing, and it, we play or whatever. I leave, and then like I don't know how long. I never remember how long afterwards. One of them.
I think it was
I think
me.
it was you, or
I think it was me.
I think it was Kenny. Anyways,
Maybe it was Kenny.
I get called up again to come out and play again.
Yeah.
I go out and I do it again. Holy shit. Like, it was just like, what the fuck just
They
happened?
just got so much better.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Holy
Yeah, it's
shit,
awesome.
dude.
What?
I'm playing and I always describe the same way. I do this fill. It was like a Pink Floyd, just and just Kenny starts wailing.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm like, oh my
What?
God. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm going to play with him. So then I leave that day and like, I was like, I'm going to message them. They're fucking kids.
Yeah.
Okay, no, but I'm going to message them though, because they're fucking good. And I was like, so if you guys are looking for a drummer, like whatever, it's not a big deal. Like I'm totally
It's
free.
not a big deal, but
Whatever.
Whatever. Like it's cool, like whatever. Just if you guys need a drummer. And then, they were like, yeah. So then we started playing. And then like a year after that, me and him started talking, and then it
Nice.
just happened.
Nice. It's just, that's amazing. I love that. So that is a very different dynamic to start as a band and then become a couple versus start as a couple and become a band. That's like
Yeah.
totally different.
Yeah.
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 That's true.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest difference?
I would say maybe the band element, you guys would have a lot of pressure from other people, and they would act like, oh, you can mess up the band, you got something to lose.
I
Whereas
definitely got that.
I never. That is probably exactly the point. That's
right?
You're totally right.
And like with us, we're already a couple. I mean, of course, some people would be like, I don't want to work with a bunch of girls, but we're already a couple. We're already like, so people know that coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's no expectations and no one who's going to be like, meh, 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 meh. Whereas you guys probably took a fuck ton more shit for it.
Do you guys feel like people take you less seriously making music because you're a couple? Because I always am afraid of that with us, especially as a duo. They'd be like, oh, that's just two wives making music together. Like, what
Yeah,
are they
that's
doing?
what, yeah.
We're not. I actually think that we're not super. We don't really post stuff like that on. Like, no, I don't.
Gotcha.
Most people don't even know that we're together.
Right,
You'd
right.
You'd have to do the. I mean, I don't think it's a lot of research. You click on his page, it tells you that he's a musician.
Yeah.
And you click on my page, but like as far as
research.
but as far as like the band page, it doesn't really tell you that.
Right.
And then like most people, when they hang out with us or meet us, it's like Jim and Pam. Like you wouldn't really know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like he's over there, and people are like, hey, where's Daniel? I'm like, I have no idea.
Never
I
heard
don't
of
know.
him.
He's around. He's around somewhere.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's like that. Like I don't. It's I don't think we make it obvious, which is what kind of I think tears down that kind of wall that people
Gotcha.
have about.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I think it's different and super fits. That is a perfect vibe for a band because you don't want any part of anyone's life to take precedent social media wise
yeah.
over the band because
Yeah.
it's like it's about House of I.
yeah, it's about us.
It's
all
about
of
us. Yeah, exactly. That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
Not the fact that we're dating or whatever.
It's about rad psych rock.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's all it's about, man. It's about
ripping.
It's about ripping and roaring.
Well, you might find this interesting, but before we started doing the podcast and the challenge stuff, we didn't really play a lot together. And we've been together for 10 years.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't really just alone. We never really played a lot together.
That is so interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow, is that because the other people weren't there?
I think so.
I think that had a big part of it. There was no.
Because you're not going to get the full sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but we probably should have been thinking of it like, well, we would just be getting better in general,
Yeah.
But like we're kind of like that. I mean, at least I am. I'm like, I want the full
The full
if I'm gonna
sound.
practice a band song, I want everyone there.
Right.
No, 100% right. 100% right.
Yeah, but
It is funny though, it is a weird concept because if it was like, let's say for example we weren't together and Kenny or Emmett happened to live let's say right there or something.
Yeah.
We'd probably be playing all the time.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like writing stuff all the time and whatnot. But I don't know. I don't know. Now I feel like now we're doing it more. Like where we're like I'll kind of have to force her into like like we're gonna record drums today, all right?
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
I literally have to leave my drum set up in there because otherwise it is just too much work.
You
Like,
can attest.
If it's not set up, if I can't just walk into that room, sit behind a drum set and play,
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's
That's why we practice at Groove Haven in St. Pete, and we come back from there, and I'm like, okay, I've got to put my cymbals and everything back on now, or I'm not gonna touch it
Right.
until like next time we go back to Groove Haven
Right.
next
yeah,
week.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah, no, I'm like that too. It's a lot of work. That's genuinely really fucking annoying.
I
Like
think
now,
the drums are fucking, without a doubt, the hardest thing to like physically.
but it's so fun to tinker with, though. Also, I like
making
that.
it perfect.
Yeah,
Well, also, let's be honest. You feel like a badass when you're bringing that shit in.
I do. I really
Right?
do. And when I'm like taking it apart, I feel like people are like, "Oh, look at that like small woman over there, like doing that." Yeah.
Yeah. Like
That's funny because that's my favorite part too, where they see the band coming in and I can tell they're already judging.
Yeah. He
I'm,
come with the big ass
I'm
bass
obviously
drum.
the acoustic guitar player in the
Yeah,
background.
yeah.
And then
Oh, her with the ukulele.
and then I start setting up the drum set and they're like, oh.
or I wonder like
Oh,
I
you're
wonder
the
this.
drummer?
Do you think that there's ever people that are like, "Oh wow, that's cool. The girlfriend sets up the drums."
Yes. Oh, I fucking bet. I bet.
No one has ever walked up to me and said that. I would slap them in the mouth.
Yeah,
Me
that would be
too.
pretty fucking rude, but
Yeah. I would slap
Yeah.
them in the mouth.
That's like
That's the thing about any venue. You get all kinds of people.
Yeah.
You never know who's going to be listening to your music or like prejudging. Yeah.
it's weird, man. Like I feel like that whole female, like her being a girl playing drums thing was like over literally after that first time we played.
Excellent.
And then
Yeah.
and
Excellent.
but I don't even think that I honestly I feel like when Kenny's sister mentioned her, I feel like, oh, that's cool. She plays drums.
It's so
like
different.
I didn't think of it like, oh, she's a girl. I just kind of felt like, oh, it's cool. She plays drums. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't think. I don't know. And it could be biased. I have no idea, but I do feel like that's not like a weird thing for me. I don't know.
The thing is that you can't think of it like that.
No, of course not. It doesn't
You
make
really
any
can't.
sense.
It's there are certain things that I can accept that a dude will probably be better at, something physical, whatever it may be. But there are other things that it's just, it is what it is. I play drums.
There
Yeah.
are culturally ingrained ideals of what both men and women are allowed to do, and neither one of those things ever even comes close to encompassing what men and women are capable of. People always say, women can't do this, men can't do that, women can't do this. Like, men can't have feelings, women can't play the drums. It's like, no, we're
Yeah.
all so much bigger than you think we are.
Yeah.
We're capable of so much more than you would
Yeah.
ever know.
And as far as music, I don't know where it comes from because it doesn't make any sense. But that's got to be my favorite. That's got to be my favorite. Setting up the drum set and someone realizing, oh shit, she's the drummer.
Yeah.
And then the satisfying feeling of them walking away, going, yeah, we'll see what she does.
And then you sit behind the
Great.
kit.
And then the same
Whew.
person walking up to me after the show, going,
Yeah.
you did great. And I'm like, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
No, I know. Okay.
I know. What you were saying of after the first show, it was never a question, oh, you got a girl drummer. It's probably after the first second. After you sat down, that's all it takes is to sit down and lay down one line and people are like, all right, you can play.
Yeah.
I can't judge it. You can play.
Well, I mean, I just like the other thing too that maybe I guess maybe now wouldn't be as like a comment nowadays, but like the whole thing of like, oh wow, she plays like a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Someone's actually told you that?
No, but
Oh, that'd be so annoying.
No, but think about when we were all younger. That was what people said all the time.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's only
like,
been the
oh,
last 3 years people stopped saying stuff like
girl.
that.
Okay, and I'll still kick your ass running like a girl.
I feel like nowadays that stuff isn't said, but definitely when we were all growing up, for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what everybody said.
Yeah.
yeah,
for sure.
I knew like I was good friends with a lot of the girls that played softball and stuff like that, and yeah, it was just funny like you just kind of realize like that shit is a myth. Now that there is difference in strength, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
But in terms of like technique and shit like that, like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
you know
doesn't
what I'm
make any
saying?
sense.
It really doesn't. And
Yeah.
like,
How to kick a soccer ball for it to curve the right way has nothing to do with man or woman. It's knowing how to kick
Are
a
you doing the
soccer
right
ball.
angle?
In the men's team, they're just gonna lay and pretend to be hurt longer anyway. So.
that's true, man. Fuck, dude.
You're right.
That is so. You brought this up, and I actually find it like it's a very interesting point. The whole there's a weird thing with society where it's like men are raised to not show their emotions.
Yeah.
And like I'm a very emotional person. Like, dude, I fucking tear up all the time.
Aw.
He looks at me like, look at her. I'm like,
Huh?
you just looked at me. You know,
Like what?
I don't know. You were
Like I've been watching. Have you guys heard of One Piece?
No.
It's
One
an
Piece
anime.
is an anime.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
So I'm watching.
I remember the
that.
manga. I've never seen the anime.
Okay, so I'm
they follow the manga pretty close, actually.
yeah.
Very cool.
So I just started watching it now, and like a lot of the episodes, bro, I ain't gonna
Anime
lie,
is incredibly emotional.
shit gets me fucking teary-eyed,
No,
dude.
you know what?
Yeah.
She cries at movie trailers.
I do.
You do, for real?
Every single time.
Every
It's
movie
hilarious.
trailer. But you know what? That is such a more than anything. That's a disservice. That's such a disservice to men. Is like the limited understanding or putting men in a box. Like you can't cry and you can't be this and you have to be the tough guy, because it doesn't begin to describe the vastness.
That like, you know, that what being a man means. Being a man doesn't mean like, I don't cry and I'm so tough and I never feel anything. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's just like, that's not fair.
Well, I
As
mean,
humans,
d-
same emotions.
that's
Yeah,
like honestly,
yeah.
like I feel personally like the only thing that differentiates is literally your genes. That's
Your
it.
genes, right?
That's it. Like otherwise, it's like emotions and stuff like that. Like that's all, you know, like kind of like a societal kind of.
It's just as
Branding,
fair
you
to
know?
say that dudes shouldn't show those emotions, and saying that women can't do whatever the millions of things that they say that women
Work
can't
on
do.
a
Yes.
car.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing, and it's a disservice to
Not
both
make a
sides.
sandwich.
Women can only make sandwiches.
Dude, I'm the cooker, dude, in the fucking in the relationship.
I love
do the
it.
dishes.
You
I
do the dishes.
Yeah, that's like our dynamic, except for then I'm like, I want to do the dishes.
I get like that too.
I do
Yeah.
the
Oops,
cooking.
I fell asleep.
And you do dishes. Never.
Dude, I hate doing dishes, so that's kind of well, I like cooking. That's really what it is. Honestly.
He likes cooking more than I hate doing the dishes.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Nice.
That's like a
I'm
math.
very
It's an
bad at
SAT
cooking.
problem. He likes cooking more than I hate doing
So
the dishes.
negative what times the positive.
The limit does not exist.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what made that decision. I really hate doing the dishes, but I really hate cooking.
Works
Fair
out.
enough.
I love that about like, you know, the modern household, how everyone can just figure out what they actually like doing, and there isn't like the man's role and the woman's role
It
anymore.
makes everyone a little bit happier. I think.
Yeah, and less on
Totally.
edge. Like I don't, you know, how much pressure is it to have to hear all the time, you have to be strong, you have to be this, you can't cry, you have to provide for your whole family. Like that's horrible amount of
Right.
pressure.
Do you
Yeah.
guys hear that from like your like older family peoples?
Like about like man's role and like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like my family's both sides of my family are really old fashioned that way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's very Hispanic. For
Oh,
example.
interesting,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
Like well, I don't know if to bring it up, but like your mom, for example, you know,
What about?
like basically
What about?
like just like the
She
woman,
sucks.
the
No, I'm
woman.
sorry. I love you. She doesn't watch this.
She can't understand.
Is she
English.
Meg White?
Damn it, Meg White, I'm so sorry, girl.
Good callback.
What do you mean?
Well, like like her mom is very like, oh, let him drive because he's the man.
Ah, yes.
You know,
It
like you
drives
should
me insane.
cook.
Like she
Yes.
hangs out with us, and it'll be like, you know, he starts cooking. Why is he cooking? And I'm like, woman, because I did the entire pile of dishes that he left from the last time he cooked. That's why he's cooking.
It's just it's
So
a
I've literally had to put like a stop to. I'm
It's-
like, you're in my house. No. Just sit down. I'm gonna serve you a cup of coffee, and we're hanging out.
Let's just
Okay?
not. Don't criticize. Don't
Don't.
bring your stuff into this.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
it's to me it's like a weird concept that like the traditional idea, at least and coming from her, she's a female, her mom's a female,
Yeah.
that she would think that that I'm a more more responsible just because of my gender. You get what I'm saying? Like
I think
like the driving
that's
thing.
so
okay,
interesting.
so true with that, but also it could be the other way too, where it's like with my brother, it's like my brother stays home with his children because his wife is going out because she can,
Yeah.
and she'll call me, she's like, Elizabeth, your brother's at home with the kids, and his wife is out.
So
And I'm like, I'm in the middle of like a really rad hangout right now with my friends. Is something wrong?
Is something actually bad happening?
No, but I thought you should know, and I'm like, I didn't need to know that.
That sounds incredibly confining.
It's so weird, man.
Yeah,
But
my
that's literally the kind of conversations that I have with my mom. She'll literally call me to tell me something like that, and I'll just be like,
I feel like my side of the family that's like especially male, like male on a pedestal,
yeah.
and then women to serve.
oh, for sure.
And it's like, what year is this?
Yeah.
This is so bizarre.
Donald Trump's America.
Yeah, this is so bizarre.
It's wild. And the thing is that if that traditional house works for you, awesome.
Yeah.
Right,
totally.
of course.
Awesome.
Freedom for anything.
Awesome. The idea of women having the freedom is for you to choose if you want to stay home and raise the kids.
Yes.
That's awesome. But it's for you to have the freedom to also choose that that's not what you want to do.
We just want everyone to be able to choose.
That's right.
Everything.
Exactly.
Just do whatever. it
Just
is
do
that
whatever you want.
Do whatever makes you fucking.
I don't care what you're doing.
I don't care what you're doing.
Just stay off of my property. And we're good.
Get off of my lawn.
We have to break all the stereotypes. You kill the bugs, I build the things.
Yeah, man. It's
Both
weird.
man's work.
Someone has to do it.
So
Somebody's got to do it.
I've thoroughly enjoyed this conversation with you guys.
It's been a blast.
Yeah,
Thank
totally.
you so
It
much.
looks like I think we ran. This is the first time it's ever happened, but I think we actually ran out the video camera.
Holy
Nice.
shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So that's pretty cool.
Thank you guys so much, though. This has been amazing.
Yeah, we'd love to have you back on. I mean,
Fuck yeah.
We'll talk about the jam session.
The
so,
jam sesh.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank
and,
you so much.
Please, there's no video, so come out to our show June 15th, guys.
15th.
At the Hub.
The Hub. Tampa,
Later.
Franklin.
Bye.